What would you do with an extra $1,000 a month? So around BiggerPockets, you hear a lot of stories of big success. Someone who just flipped a house, made 100 grand, somebody who just bought a 300 unit apartment building, somebody who just crossed the threshold of making $1 million in net worth. And these are all awesome and inspiring stories, but if you're a newer investor, these goals probably seem unattainable, even crazy. How are you ever gonna get there? Well, today I want to share some strategies for making money investing in real estate, but rather than explore the best ways to make millions in real estate, I want to explore some ways to simply make $1,000 a month. So as I go through this video, keep that first question I asked earlier in your mind. What would you do with that extra $1,000 a month in income? Also understand that none of this is get rich quick or easy. It's going to take work, but if an extra $1,000 a month would change your life, then keep watching. Oh, and be sure to click that little thumbs up button below this video and subscribe to our channel here if you want to see more content just like this. With that, let's talk about how to make an extra $1,000 a month from real estate. Okay, before I give you the 3 ways to make $1,000 a month through real estate, let's get on the same page about something. In this video, I'm gonna give you a lot of numbers and example deals, but understand that every real estate market is different, and you might think these numbers are absurdly high or absurdly low, and depending on where you live, they might be, but try not to focus on the numbers as much as the principles behind the numbers, all right? Okay, let's get going. Number 1, house hack your way to $1,000 a month. House hacking is a term I use a lot to describe the process of combining your primary residence, where you live, with your desire to build wealth through real estate investing. So there are several ways to house hack, and they all can work if you do them right. So let me just give you a few simple scenarios. First of all, there's the rent hack scenario, where you rent a house or an apartment and then you rent out the extra bedrooms to some roommates. I actually did this in college before I knew anything about real estate investing. And then there's the live and flip, which I did right after college. But the technique I really want to spend the most time talking about today is the small multifamily house hack. See, the small multifamily house hack is the process of buying a small multifamily property, like a duplex or a triplex or a fourplex, and then living in one unit while renting the other units out. So let me give you an example of how a person could earn an extra $1,000 a month this way. So Jeremy found a $315,000 fourplex located 20 minutes outside Minneapolis. He purchased the home using an FHA loan, which requires just 3.5% down payment. So total cost for him, he came to the table with about 15 grand. His mortgage payment, including taxes, insurance, and all that stuff, ends up costing about 2 grand a month. Add in water, sewer, garbage, vacancy, maintenance, and all that, and he's at about 3 grand every month in just expenses. Now he lives in the basement apartment, a nice 2-bedroom unit, while renting the other units out for $1,000 or $1,100 a piece for total income of $3,300 every month. Now Jeremy is now getting paid just under $300 a month in profit to live in a house for free. Oh, but Brandon, that's not $1,000 a month. Okay, patience, young Padawan. You forget one important thing. Now, Jeremy is now living for free. So Jeremy was paying $700 a month before in rent at some crappy 1-bedroom apartment, and now he lives for free in a nice 2-bedroom. So Jeremy now has an extra $700 a month in his money because he's not paying rent, and $300 a month from that cash flow, total $1,000 a month, and he's building equity. He's got a huge hedge against inflation. He's learning how to be a landlord, and when Jeremy decides to move, he can rent his unit out for $1,100 a month, and now his cash flow goes up to $1,400 a month, which will likely climb over time. Pretty cool way to start, right? Not too bad for Jeremy. All right, second strategy for making an extra $1,000 a month from real estate investing: wholesaling. Now, for those unfamiliar with the real estate twist on wholesaling, let me explain. Wholesaling is this process of finding a great real estate deal through hustle, hard work, and then signing a legal contract to purchase the property, and then selling that contract to another investor, like a flipper who's actually going to be the one buying it. Now, it's a little bit more complicated than that, but do a quick search around BiggerPockets up in the nav bar. There's a search thing. You can find a lot more information about it. Also, make sure you check out the book on investing in real estate with no and low money down, which I wrote. And like a third of that book is dedicated just to wholesaling. All right, so now, how can a person make $1,000 a month through wholesaling? All right, let's look at a super simple example. Lori decides to become a part-time wholesaler to earn some extra income, and decides that of all the different methods a person could use to find deals, direct mail marketing would be the most attainable for the long term. So Lori prints out 1,000 letters printed on blank white paper, and it simply says something like, "I want to buy your house for cash. If you're interested in selling, call me at insert number here." She sends those out to a list that she ordered on a site like listsource.com for out-of-state owners who had owned the property for more than 10 years. All in all, with the printing, the stamps, the paper, and the buying the list, Lori spends $1,000 to send those 1,000 letters. Within a few days, the calls start coming in. Lori actually gets 4% of the people to call her who she sent to, so about 40 people give her a call. Of those 40, one of those guys is named Elmer. Elmer owns a single-family home that he needs a ton of work, but he needs to sell it quickly, and he's got no money to do the repairs on it. So Lori does some quick 70% rule math, and she sees the following. The after repair value is $125K times 70%, leaves her with a value of $87,500. She estimates the home needs about 25 grand to work, leaving her with 62.5, and she wants to make 2 grand gross on the deal, so that leaves her with 60,500. So she offers Elmer 60 grand. He accepts. She then talks to a local house flipper, and the house flipper pays Lori $62,500 for the deal. At closing, Lori ends up with a check for like $2,000, $2,500, of which $1,000 she spent on direct mail letters. So put simply, Lori repeats this process over and over every month to make an extra $1,000 or so every month in cash. Oh, and by the way, guys, this super cool thing, super cool thing about wholesaling, number one, since Lori knows that she can make this 2 grand revenue for every $1,000 in marketing she spends, she'd probably likely very quickly ramp up her marketing budget until she was spending tens of thousands of dollars a month and closing dozens of deals, if she wanted it. But if all she wanted was $1,000 a month, then this works too. And secondly, most wholesalers I know are aiming to make a lot more than $1,000, usually like 5 grand minimum, and some make a whole lot more than that. Just be sure to learn, if you're thinking about wholesaling, the legalities of wholesaling. It can get a little bit tricky, so do your homework on BiggerPockets, don't do it illegally, and do it right. And also be sure to check out the BiggerPockets wholesaling calculator to help you estimate how much you should offer on a potential wholesale deal. And you can use that to showcase the strength of your deal to your end cash buyer. All right, enough about wholesaling. Let's move on to the number 3, house flip your way to $1,000 per month. Now, the television shows have glamorized the house flipping industry as easy money, but flipping is anything but that. But for those dedicated to learning the business of house flipping, incredible income can be earned. Now, we don't want to talk about incredible income, though, for the purpose of this video here. We're going to talk just about $1,000 a month. So how do we do that? All right, well, with flipping, that $1,000 is going to be averaged over the course of a year, since no flipper in their right mind would flip one house every single month just to make $1,000 per flip. Most flippers I know aim to make a whole lot more than that. But for the purpose of this video lesson, to earn $1,000 a month in extra income, a flipper would only need to flip like one home every year, or make 12 grand on that, or every 2 years make 24 grand. So here's an example of how that could be done. Hal just finished reading the book on flipping houses by Jay Scott and is excited to get started on his first flip. However, Hal doesn't want to quit his job and become a full-time flipper. He just wants a little extra cash every month to pay for private school for his 6-year-old daughter. All right, so Hal looked around for months to find the perfect deal. He analyzed deals daily using the BiggerPockets house flipping calculator, but he couldn't find a good enough one yet. But he was persistent until finally one of his offers, a short sale, went through. The home was in a terrible condition when he bought it, located on a nice street though, about 20 minutes away from Hal's work. He analyzed enough comps to know that the home would sell for around $225,000, but needed 45 grand worth of work, as provided in a bid from a local reputable contractor, of course. His offer is accepted at $132,000. Now, after 94 total days, he sells the home for $225,000, and Hal walks away with a check for over $24,000. Now, it wasn't easy, it wasn't super quick, but he did it. Hal decides that he'll continue flipping, but only do one project every year or two. This way he can ensure that he only buys incredible deals that don't take a lot of time, and it'll give him extra income that he needs. After it's all said and done, $24,000 in profit every 2 years works out to $1,000 a month in income. All right, so what do you guys think? So I started this video with a simple question. What would you do with an extra $1,000 a month in your bank account? $1,000 extra dollars could mean more freedom from your job, more time home with your kids, more vacations, a nicer car, or one of a million other things. Or maybe $1,000 a month is simply a good starting point, a quick win, a goal to help you get launched in a much larger real estate business. Whatever reasons you may have for making that extra $1,000 a month, there are two things that I know. First, $1,000 a month can change your life. It's a great start, and real estate investing can make it happen. Hopefully this video has given you guys a few ways that you can make that happen in your life. You can make $1,000 or a lot more from real estate. And this list, of course, is far from comprehensive. There's tons of ways to make money in real estate, so be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more content, and be sure to check out our weekly live BiggerPockets webinars where you'll learn everything from finding deals in competitive markets to house flipping to quitting your job through real estate to analyzing more deals or tons of stuff. So sign up for the next one at biggerpockets.com/webinar. All right, guys, let's get out of here. For biggerpockets.com, my name is Brandon Turner, signing off.
Big